It's crucial for every photographer or artist to have a decent portfolio if they want to attract new clients, followers, and who knows, maybe even become famous. And I sincerely think that the best way to showcase your work online is to create a portfolio website, because unlike other platforms like Behance or Instagram, there are no technical or policy restrictions, which means nothing gets in the way of your creativity. If you're new here, my name is Igor, and in this video I'm gonna show you step by step how to create a beautiful and professional looking portfolio website in just 20 minutes, even if you're a complete beginner in this field. We are going to create a website using the Wix platform, because first of all, this video is sponsored by them, and secondly, because I really like this platform for its intuitiveness, a lot of features and convenience for beginners. Before we start, I'd like to mention a few important things. First of all, if you come up with any questions during this video, please feel free to ask them in the comments, I'm always ready to help. Secondly, if you have any problems recognizing my speech, do not hesitate to turn on the closed captions. And finally, if you're interested in website building and online marketing, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, because I'm gonna upload even more useful videos of these topics. Without further ado, let's go over to building a portfolio website. First of all, we have to go over to the Wix official website and sign up for it. You can do that by following the link in the description down below. Once you enter the site, press the Get Started button and you will be asked about the way you prefer to sign up. As you can see, you can continue with Facebook, Google or your email, it's up to you. After you sign up, Wix will offer you to take a little survey about the purposes of your future website and your previous experience in website building. The survey looks a bit different depending on a certain account, so let's skip it, because I want to be sure we are on the same page. Then we have two ways: let the Wix ADI automatically generate a website for us, or create a website with the Wix editor. In this tutorial we're gonna use the Wix editor, because it gives more room for creativity, and also I want to make you understand how everything works here, so that you will be able to change any elements on your website by yourself. In the next step, Wix offers us to pick a template. There are a lot of nice looking templates for any purposes, and since we are going to build a portfolio website, let's go over to the appropriate category. For example, let's say I'm gonna go with this template. However, before choosing it, I'd like to preview it on a demo website. You can do so by pressing the View button and then following the View Full Demo link. If the template met your expectations, just press the Edit this site button and you will be taken to the Wix editor. First of all, we're going to upgrade to a premium plan. The thing is, despite Wix allows you to create websites on a free plan as well, if you want to remove Wix brand ads, connect a custom domain, take online bookings and get more storage for your media files, you have to upgrade to one of the premium plans. Actually, you can do that at any stage of this tutorial, or even after watching it, but it makes sense to do it at the very beginning, because in the second part of this video I'm gonna show you how to publish a website, connect a domain and do such other things, so you simply will not be able to repeat some of my actions on a free plan. Anyway, you can upgrade by following the appropriate link at the top bar. But before that, Wix wants us to save the website, so that we will not lose any changes and can access it at any time. After the site has been saved, you can go over to a plan comparison page and decide which one suits you. As you can see, they mostly differ by the amount of free storage space and some other small things. So if you're planning to upload heavyweight files, for example photos or videos in 4K resolution, then it makes sense to go with the VIP plan. In any other case, I think it's safe to say that the unlimited plan is pretty enough for a typical portfolio website. Anyway, after you select the plan, you have to decide which billing cycle you prefer. I recommend making your choice at the annual plan, since it's the most profitable option. After upgrading the plan, we are ready to start editing the site. So here is the homepage of our portfolio website. First of all, I want you to understand that the homepage, like any other page in the Wix website editor, basically consists of three parts, which are header, content and footer. The header is the very first block on the page, and it stays consistent for the whole website, which means if you change anything inside it, the changes will appear on every page. The header usually contains a logo, navigation menu, contact information, social links and so on. After the header goes the content of the page. It's individual for every single page and separated by stripes, which are essentially the content blocks from that the page consists of. Right now we have only one stripe with the photo gallery, but don't worry, because I'm gonna show how to add more stripes and different elements to the page throughout this tutorial. After the last stripe of content goes the footer, which, like the header, is constant for the entire site. It usually contains an additional navigation menu, copyright information, links to your profiles in social media, and so on. Then I'd like to mention that the Wix platform has a drag and drop editor, which means you are free to move, stretch, or delete any element on the page. If you click on an element, a panel appears, on which you can change some things related to its design, layout or content, add an animation or link to it, and so on. Despite each type of element has its own panel with an individual set of options, all of them are pretty similar and clear, so I'm sure you will not face any problems working with them. Besides, right-click on an element brings up a context menu where you can perform such actions as deleting, duplicating, arranging, and so on. The next thing I'd like to draw your attention to are these dotted lines, or as they also called grid lines. You have to bear in mind that elements that are placed outside the grid lines might be cut off on tablets and smaller screens. However, it doesn't mean that you shouldn't place any elements outside them at all, because there are a lot of exceptions. First of all stripes and columns are responsive by default, so any elements placed inside them will be automatically adjusted to any screen size. So if you're gonna add a new single element to a page, just make sure it's placed inside an empty stripe, or at least within the grid lines, to avoid any problems with its displaying on small screens. We are gonna talk about it in detail a bit later, so don't worry. Secondly, there are some types of elements that can be stretched to the full page width. For example, the photo gallery is one of them. By switching the appropriate toggle, we can stretch this element and add margins if it's necessary. The point is, when an element stretched to the full width of the page, it becomes responsive, which means it's gonna be adjusted for any screen size automatically. So if you want to change the width of your gallery or any other element with such a feature, I do recommend you to do so by switching the toggle and adding margins instead of dragging its edges manually, because it may lead to inappropriate displaying on small screens. And finally, the grid lines rule mostly applies to the desktop version of your website, due to the variety of possible display resolutions and screen sizes. But when it comes to the mobile version, you don't have to worry about grid lines, because on the Wix platform all websites are automatically optimized to look great on mobile. To switch to the mobile version, click the appropriate icon on the top bar of the editor. While editing the site, keep in mind the fact that changes you make on the desktop version will be displayed on the mobile version as well, but not vice versa. Also, as you can see, the navigation menu on the mobile version has a pretty different appearance, so don't forget to customize it as well. Okay, let's get back to the desktop for now. Despite autosaving in the Wix editor is enabled by default, I do recommend you to save changes manually from time to time anyway. You can do so by clicking the appropriate button in the top right. Besides, next to the Save button, you can find the Undo and Redo buttons. Feel free to use them while editing the site. Okay, since we figured out how to properly work in the editor, let me show you how I edit the homepage with the explanation of my every action, so that you will be able to repeat them and gain self-confidence in your own editing abilities. First of all, I'd like to split the header into 3 columns to accommodate the navigation menu, logo and links to my social media profiles. Unfortunately, we are not able to add columns right inside the header. However, we can tackle this little issue simply by adding an empty stripe over it. To add a new element or stripe to a page, press the plus button on the left panel and you will see all the available options. There are a lot of elements and ready-made stripes for any purposes, and we are gonna take a detailed look at them a bit later. But for now, let's just go over to the strip tab, find an empty white strip on it and drag it under the header. To change the height of any stripe, you can simply pull its bottom edge up or down. Now let's move the logo a little lower for a while, so that we will be able to reduce the height of the header to a minimum and place the empty stripe in front of it. By the way, if you face any problems while trying to place one element or stripe in front of another, you can press the Layers button and pick a layer you currently want to work with. Okay, now the header is completely hidden beneath the new empty stripe, but as you can see, it has a light gray background, while the rest of the site has a white background color. To change the background of any stripe, just pick it, press the appropriate button and select a color that suits you. Like I said, I want to divide this stripe into 3 columns, and to do so I have to go over to its layout settings and press the Add Column button. Pay attention that after you add at least one column, the Add button will move to the Manage Columns panel, and in the Layout panel you can now change the columns' proportions, spacing and padding. Now let's put the logo and menu into the columns and add a new element with social media links. For example, I'm gonna go with this one. Also, I'd like to slightly adjust the size of social buttons, and for that purpose I'm gonna open the Layout panel. To change the set of buttons and replace the default links with your own ones, press the Set Social Links button, and on the appeared panel you can perform all of these actions. Okay, once we've done with the social buttons, let's move on and customize the logo. As you can see, the logo in this template is performed as a simple text element, so you can just enter your name or name of your company and change the font or size of the text if you want so. Also, in case you prefer to use an image as a logo, you can just delete the existing one and replace it with a new image element. I've prepared an image in advance, so I'm just gonna upload it and slightly adjust its placement within the header. As for the menu, I don't really like how it looks now, so I'm going to open the Design tab and customize its appearance. As you can see, Wix offers us a bunch of ready-made menu designs, but also we're free to fully customize it by pressing the appropriate button. Here you can edit such things as the fill color, borders, background, font and text size, and so on. For example, I'm gonna go with one of the presets and change the text color and font size. Now let's try to add a new menu item. All of the actions related to managing the menu can be performed by pressing the appropriate button. First of all, you can rearrange items by simply dragging them up or down, and in case you want to group certain items under the same title, just drag one item to another. Then, by clicking the three dots icon next to any item, you can rename it, hide it from the navigation menu, as well as change its SEO meta tags and some other small settings. To add a new item, press the appropriate button. It can be a link to any page of the website, an external link, an anchor, which is essentially a link that leads to any element placed on the same page, and also you can add the submenu title in case you want to create a drop-down menu. Okay, I think we are done with the header, and it's a great time to move on to editing the page content. I don't need this heading anymore, so I'm gonna delete it. Then we're going to go over to editing the most important part of any portfolio website, the photo gallery. First of all, you obviously want to replace the default images with your own ones. To do so, we're going to click on the Manage Media button, select all the images and delete them. To add new media files to the gallery, press the appropriate button and then you can choose what specifically you're going to upload, a photo, video or some kind of banner with text on it. Let me quickly upload the images and then I'll return to you. Okay, now let's take a look at what settings of the gallery we can change. First of all, we can pick a different layout and additionally customize it. As you can see, there are a lot of presets for pretty much every taste. Then, down here we can choose what we want to happen when a visitor clicks on the image. Will it open in the expand mode or full screen, in a new tab and so on. Also, we can switch these toggles if we want to allow visitors to download the images and add social icons to them. Then, on the Design tab, we can customize the appearance of the items within the gallery. For example, add a color overlay, some text or buttons and so on. And on the last tab we can set the image quality and change some video settings. I hope it's pretty clear and you will not face any problems while setting up the photo gallery. And of course, this is not the only gallery template that the Wix platform has to offer you. You can find a lot more great looking galleries on the appropriate tab after clicking the plus button. As you can see, there are plenty of grid and slideshow galleries to choose from, and I'm pretty sure everyone can find the gallery to their liking. Also, I'd like to draw your attention to the related apps section. Apps are designed to further expand the basic functionality of the editor, and you can find even more of them by clicking the appropriate button on the left panel. As for now, let's just take a look at what related to the galleries apps we are offered to choose from. First of all, in case you want to add not just a single gallery, but a whole set of albums, you can do that by adding the Wix Photo Album app. Also, there is the Wix Art Store app, which allows you to sell your digital art and prints right from your portfolio website. And of course, there is the app for adding the Instagram feed to your pages. For example, let's say you decided to replace the original gallery with the Instagram feed. To do so, click on it, and then on the settings panel you can connect your account in just a few clicks. As you can see, all types of galleries have a similar set of options, and the setting process is pretty intuitive, so I'm not gonna dwell on it in detail in order not to waste your time. Okay, I think we are done with the homepage. This is one of the most popular layouts for the portfolio websites, and I don't think this is a good idea to try to reinvent the wheel, so let's move on, and now I'm gonna show you one important thing. After you finished editing the page, it's a good practice to check out how it looks on mobile devices. You already know how to switch between the desktop and mobile versions, so let's just do that. As you can see, there is a little mess here. But don't worry, because first of all we are gonna quickly tackle it, and secondly, such a situation tends to happen only after drastic layout changes, like in our case. Let's just move the logo to the left of the menu and hide the display of these two columns on the mobile version. Then we have to adjust the height of the social button stripe, and now the mobile version of this page looks pretty nice and clean. So guys, I do recommend you to check the mobile version at least after drastic changes to avoid any unpleasant surprises. Another important thing you need to know is how to navigate through the pages of your website, manage them, as well as add new ones. First of all, you can quickly jump over the pages by using this drop-down menu on the top bar. However, most of the actions related to their management could be performed only on the appropriate tab. As you can see, there is a 3 dots icon button next to each of the pages, by clicking on which you can rename a page, delete it, as well as change some of its settings like layout, permissions, SEO, and so on. I'd also like to point out that all of the Wix templates have pages with Dima content by default, and that can make the process of launching a website much faster, because instead of creating all of the necessary pages from scratch, we can just quickly customize them. For example, we already have the About and Contact pages, and can edit them totally in the same way as the homepage. Also, if you're a photographer or some kind of artist, you might want to create a page with bookings to provide your visitors the ability to book your services. Let's try to create such a page. Click the plus button, go over to the appropriate tab, and you will be offered to add the booking functionality to your website. After pressing the Add to Site button, Wix will automatically create the services page, so you don't even have to do it manually. As you can see, the Book Online element has a familiar and intuitive set of settings, so you can customize it just in a few clicks. To manage the services, press the appropriate button and you will be taken to the Wix dashboard. Let's try to add a service. First of all, you have to select which type of service it's going to be, some kind of private service or a workshop for multiple participants. Then you have to provide some information about the service, as well as add an attractive image to encourage visitors to click on it. Next, down here you want to select a specific service type, whether it's going to be an appointment, a class, or even a course. And finally, you have to provide service details like a session duration, name of a person who offers this service, the service price, and so on. After you finish filling in the information, don't forget to press the Save button. Also, I'd like to draw your attention to the fact that Wix automatically created not only the page with the available services, but also the pages for intermediate steps of service ordering, such as the service page itself and booking checkout page. It means you can customize these pages just regular ones, which is quite convenient and gives a lot of room for creativity. So guys, that was pretty much everything you need to know to be able to successfully create your own portfolio website on the Wix platform, so I think we are ready now to move to the final step and publish our website. You can do that by pressing the appropriate button. As you can see, by default the website is placed on a free Wix subdomain, which means we already can start sharing the link to it with anyone. However, every serious photographer or artist obviously needs a website with a custom domain. That's required to show your audience and potential clients that you have a serious business, and also helps to start building your personal brand recognition, totally necessary for SEO and so much more. Long story short, your website just can't work properly without a custom domain. That is why we're gonna connect it right now. Press the appropriate button and you will be taken to the page where you can choose what you are going to do: buy a new domain name directly from Wix or connect some domain name you already have. The good news is, after upgrading to a premium plan, you will get a custom domain for free for 1 year, which is quite generous as for me. Once we've published the website and connected the custom domain, we have to deal with the search engine optimization, or as it's also called, SEO. SEO is vital if you want to drive free, recurrable and consistent traffic from the search engines to your website. However, to be honest, search engines rarely become the main source of traffic for portfolio websites, due to the small amount of pages and text information. Anyway, you obviously want people to be able to find your website by entering your name, and for that purpose we have to do some basic SEO. Thankfully, especially for regular people who don't want to spend a lot of time trying to figure out how to optimize their website, Wix came up with the Wix SEO Wizard. Essentially, it's a step-by-step plan designed to help optimize your website for the search engines, even if you're a complete beginner in that field. The Wix SEO Wizard covers the best and most common SEO practices, as well as shows you how to boost your online presence by outlining weak points on your website and providing helpful tips for improvement. After you answer 3 simple questions, the wizard analyzes your website and automatically issues a personalized SEO plan with simple steps, by following which you can achieve acceptable results in a short period of time. Once you're done with SEO, there is one more important thing you need to take care of, and that's a favicon. It's a small icon that you can see on your browser's tab. It's crucial to have it, because it helps to personalize your site and highlight it among others. By default, all websites built on Wix have a standard Wix favicon, but you can customize it after upgrading to a premium plan and connecting your site to a custom domain, which we've already done. To change a favicon, open the Settings tab on the site's dashboard and choose the appropriate item. If you don't have a favicon yet, I do recommend you to use one of the free favicon generators that can be found around the internet. Also, on the Settings tab you can indicate your business information, such as a phone number, address, location and so on. It's an important action that should be definitely done if you're going to use your online portfolio to attract clients, so don't forget about it. Also, I'd like to remind you, if after watching this video you decided to create your own online portfolio website using the Wix platform, feel free to follow the link in the description down below. Also, if you found any value in this video, I would really appreciate if you hit the like button or even leave a comment, because it helps my channel to grow. Besides, I'm gonna upload much more useful videos and tutorials about website building and online marketing, so consider subscribing if you're interested in these topics. Have a nice day and see you the next time. Bye!